I've been using Zwift for nearly 8 years now, and in this video I'm going to share all I've learned in terms of how to use the platform to get fit and stay fit. Indoor training was always a big part of my riding as a pro cyclist. Now, I no longer race, but Zwift is still a huge part of my weekly riding, especially when I'm looking to build up to specific challenges here at GCN. I'm a big believer in cycling as a low-impact way to exercise, and if you can add the fun factor on top of this, you've got the magic sauce. So, here are my tips to improve your fitness using the platform. Let's get into it. The toughest barrier to start any sort of training journey is just getting going. So in my opinion, you want to make it as easy and convenient as possible to start riding. And that is where the advantage and beauty of indoor training and riding lies. So if you can, try and get a dedicated space for your indoor training setup. So having something like this, the Zwift Ride, is almost like the cherry on the cake, a dedicated bike for all your Zwifting, which anyone on the family can jump on and share too. And it takes about 5 minutes really to get kitted up and starting riding. But it's also pretty straightforward to unfold your smart trainer, hook your bike on and start riding straight away, which is what I would have done as a pro, wheeled everything out and then got things going. It can be really tough as a cyclist to dedicate the hours needed to train and take yourself away from family or friends. So the beauty of indoor training for me is that it allows you to stay close while still get in a very effective workout. Use your time really efficiently with no time loss either side of that riding either. A key part to any form of training on Zwift is understanding your current fitness level. Knowing your FTP in-game will allow you to set the right intensity for workouts, enter the right races and group rides for your ability level, and also track your progress better. The least intimidating way to find out your own FTP level on Zwift is to complete the grade climb. So this is essentially a climb. You ride up it as hard as you can, and by the top, based on your effort, Zwift will give you a pretty accurate estimate of your FTP. Now you can find this in the route section under Ohilno or elevation evaluation, which has a slightly longer lead-in time, giving you a bit of a better warm-up. So I better jump on, get cracking now. You can also try out a dedicated FTP test in Zwift's workout library. These have step-by-step instructions, making it really easy to follow. You literally have to jump on your bike and ride if you have a smart trainer, and it will guide you through the entire test. Now, all of these FTP tests, fitness tests, they are tough. They involve you pushing your limits and finding them. But that's kind of the point. You need to find your limits, you know your fitness level, you know the rest of your riding after you've completed these tests isn't going to be too hard or too easy. And that basically means that you're getting the most out of yourself. You're using your time as efficiently and effectively as possible. Now, if you are totally new to the platform, what I would say is wait a little bit until you do these tests. Just get riding first and foremost. Get used to riding on different routes in Zwift. Take on a few routes in Watopia. Get your kind of level up a little bit, your confidence up, and then dive into these tests so you really understand where your power lies and where your fitness lies. The Zwift community is personally something that I've always used to motivate myself throughout my rides. There are a ton of group rides and social rides that you can join at a different time that suits you. Now, these are led by real people and also by virtual pacemakers. You simply need to jump on and hang on whenever you want. Woo. The cool thing about these rides is it feels really realistic. It actually feels like you're riding in a bunch of cyclists or in a peloton, and you have to concentrate on holding the wheel in front, maintaining that draft, and that really sweeps you up in the ride and means that you kind of tend to push yourself a bit more than you think you are, which is great for getting a solid ride in. You also get the support of everyone around you in that bunch, giving you a ride on, chatting away, giving each other words of encouragement. And it's that community feel, knowing there's loads of people around the world trying to do the same as you, which is really comforting and motivating. I kind of tend to get a bit carried away sometimes in these rides. I kind of see the front, I'm like, right, the racing days are back. Let's attack, everyone. Here comes the red giant to the front. Well, trying to go to the front, trying, and starting to run out of steam. Oh my days. Woo. Okay, when you get like, you try to attack. Oh no, I'm doing it, I'm going. Go on, Conor. He's off. There are also multi-day rides to try and complete. Things like Tour de Zwift or Tour of Watopia, which allow you to take on different stages of group rides. So you can really kind of set yourself a target over a few weeks to try and complete a bit of a chunkier challenge, which I find is a great carrot to keep you riding. The best place, though, to keep track of all these events on Zwift, I think, is the Zwift Companion app. So this is a handy app, and it allows you to look at kind of a calendar view of everything that's coming up. You can sign up for the ride you want. It's always handy to have something in the diary, something nailed in that you can kind of work towards and know is coming up. You can't back out. On and off the road, indoors, specific sessions have always been a key part of my riding. As a pro, I always had some sort of structure to the ride that I was trying to complete in the form of efforts or specific intervals. And without this, it is so easy to fall into a pattern of just completing similar rides, and you kind of reach this point where you're working on similar things and your fitness gets to a point where it kind of plateaus and you find it hard to take it to the next level. The advantage of completing a structured ride or workout is that you can really pick your strengths and your weaknesses, address them, and really work on them in quite a specific way. But I understand, as someone who might be a beginner cyclist, trying to complete an interval session might feel a little bit daunting and trying to decide where to even start. Even as a pro or an experienced cyclist, it can be quite tough. That's why you get a coach who prescribes all your training for you. But where Zwift comes in is that it makes it super easy because they have a ton of different workouts and sessions to try, ranging from relatively easy recovery style sessions that are quite short to longer, more intense, tougher sessions that really work on aspects like your threshold, your VO2 max, or even some sprint sessions. And you can jump into these straight away, navigate through the entire workout library to find them and get cracking from the get-go. But it is really important for this to have an accurate idea of your FTP, as I said before, because this will mean that you complete these workouts at the correct intensity. Smart Trainer connected, all you have to do is jump on your bike and ride, because the resistance is changed automatically throughout these sessions, and they can get a lot of bang for your buck in the time available. The chain is always tight, there's no freewheeling. As effective as these workouts are, the danger is that they can sometimes be too effective. So if you take on too many at once, back to back, or ride too many intense sessions, the fatigue can build up quite quickly and you struggle to maintain your momentum as you build your fitness on. So this is where training plans come in, making sure that you balance all that riding correctly. As a pro, I'd have had a coach do this for me and build a training plan that's based around the sort of goals I have and the riding I'm able to do. But on Zwift, you have a whole host of different training plans that you can dive into and choose yourself based on your own goals. And the cool thing is that all of these training plans and workouts have been designed by top level coaches too. I'd advise taking a training plan on, because if you do commit to one, you're much more likely to stick with it as the weeks progress. And also, any gains in fitness aren't going to happen overnight, and you want to commit to something long term. The training plans on Zwift, they're going to take you through each session step by step. They're also designed to build your fitness at the right rate too. Not too little and not too much, so that you can gradually allow that fitness to improve and feel the gains over time. Personally, I've always been someone that's loved the competitive side to cycling. As a pro, I could only get my fitness to a certain level before it kind of plateaued, and I needed that competitiveness, that racing to really bring things on to the next step. And this, for me, is where Zwift racing comes in. There's a whole host of different races that you can take part in and start. And the cool thing about these is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home without the added expense of entering a race or the time commitment to get yourself out to the start line the other side of the country. I've just entered one now. I need to hold the wheel, 1 second, and get back in. Ah! Come on, Conor! This is what happens, you see. Ah! Gotta make it! Gotta make it back! No! Zwift races are really intense, so I would advise trying to mix these up with other sorts of rides, workouts, and easier rides within your week too. But they're a lot of fun. I love them because it just evokes that racing spirit, that racing feel. You can launch an attack, you can hold the wheel, you can play some tactics, play your cards as you want. And I find the time just absolutely flies. And I also get a brilliant workout in at the same time. Whew. Right, hanging in there. Last up, I would say to keep tracking your fitness over time as you do embark on whatever journey you're setting forth on, because it will surprise you how quickly you can build your fitness and begin to improve. So you could take on those FTP tests that I mentioned earlier. Perhaps every month is a good kind of time period to repeat those efforts. You could also take on specific segments within Zwift's many virtual worlds and keep tabs of your times, perhaps go for a personal best time. And it's that personal competition actually sometimes that can really push you to try harder and push yourself harder on the bike. And then you start to see that fitness snowball, which can be quite motivating too, which is a win-win and gets you on the right track to keep on working harder. There you go then, a few tips to help you get the most out of building your fitness on Zwift. Let me know in the comments section down below if you've got any personal hacks which you like to employ to get the most out of yourself. You can share them with the wider community here. Thank you for watching. I really hope you found this video useful in helping you get the most out of Zwift and build for any goals you might be taking on in the future. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up too. Thanks for watching everyone, and we will see you on the next one.